Hey, it's Bill Russell. I'm here in my yellow hat. I wore it at Vive and Hims to signify our partnership with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation and the search for cures and to combat childhood cancer. I'm just blown away by the generosity of our community. With the help of our partners, Short Test, Rackspace, CTG, and some of you giving individually, we were able to raise close to $40,000 at those two events. It is just exceptional. And I would like to thank all of you who have joined us in this cause. If you would like to be a part of it as well, go ahead and hit our page, thisweekhealth.com. You can go to the top blue banner that is on our homepage and click on that to give today. Thank you again for being a part of this effort and this cause. Today in Health IT, confidence, investments, and just silliness. My name is Bill Russell. I'm a former CIO for a 16-hospital system and creator of This Week Health, a set of channels dedicated to keeping health IT staff current and engaged. We want to thank our show sponsors who are investing in developing the next generation of health leaders, Short Test and Artisight. My guess is you thought I was going to end there if you've listened to the show before, but we've actually added two more sponsors, Parlance and ServiceNow. So Short Test, Artisight, Parlance, and ServiceNow, four great companies. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. Having a child with cancer is one of the most painful and difficult situations a family can face. In 2023, to celebrate 5 years at This Week Health, we are working to give back. We are partnering with Alex's Lemonade Stand all year long. We have a goal to raise $50,000 from our community. We are up over $40,000 for the year. We ask you to join us. Hit our website, top right-hand column. You're going to see a logo for the Lemonade Stand. Click on that to give today. We believe in the generosity of our community, and we thank you in advance. All right, I'm looking at three things today. The first is Becker's article posted 20 hours ago. Healthcare CEOs are losing confidence. There was a poll that was done of leaders in industry and their confidence in the economy and where it's going. And every other industry is predominantly pointing up. And there was a significant increase in the number of leaders in healthcare that have their confidence pointing down. That's not really a surprise to me, but this one is. 19% of healthcare leaders rank their outlook at the lowest tier between 1 and 4. That's on a scale of 10. So, you know, it's interesting. As I was reading this, again, Fridays are my time to just sort of muse on things as I'm reading these stories. And as I'm reading that, and I'm thinking, if your outlook, if your confidence in things, the industry, in the economy, and those kind of things is a 1 of 4, your staff's confidence level is not going to be any higher than that. And if I'm a board member and I see that my leader's confidence is a 1 to 4, it's time to move on that leader, because again, whoever's at the top of the ship is going to have the highest level of confidence, and you have to have confidence to work through these things. Not rose-colored glasses. Oh, things are great. We understand that the margins are low. Margins have taken a hit over the last, I don't know, let's say a couple of years actually. And they've been significant, and they're slowly coming out of it. I get that. I mean, we can look at the numbers and say, hey, realistically, this is going to be a challenge. But confidence is understanding that there are ways through it. It's seeing ways through it. It's encouraging people with ways through it. If you cannot portray confidence, then you should voluntarily give up your job. Or if I was a board member, I would be looking to move that CEO out of the chair. All right, did a poll earlier this week. Let me see if I can find it. It was an interesting poll, and your responses to it were also very fascinating to me. And here's what the poll had to say. With limited funds, where should healthcare providers invest in innovation? Okay, what I said is there's a retrenching going on in healthcare. Budgets are tight, and innovation targets have to be almost a sure thing, if that is such a thing. I'm wondering where you think the limited resources should be invested in innovation. Okay, 181 votes. I only do 3-day polls. 181 votes. I gave 4 options: patient experience, clinician experience, quality and safety, cost of care. All right, you have limited funds. You're investing in innovation. You have some left over. You're going to invest in innovation. Where are you going to focus? The winner was patient experience, 34%. Second was cost of care. Third was clinician experience, Fourth was quality and safety. So I don't vote on these things. I put them out there, and I don't want to vote because I don't want to, change somebody's opinion on various things if I have that kind of influence. But regardless, I don't vote on them. But I'm going to give you my opinion here. If I had funds to invest right now, I would be looking at areas that impact the financial health of the organization, because that is the acute need right now. And so that can be the clinician experience, because we have clinician burnout. We have a number of clinicians that are quitting. We have wage inflation that's going on. So there's a whole host of things in that space that I could see myself investing in. By the way, you couldn't pin me down on any one of these categories. So I could see any around the financial health of the organization and the stability of the organization. I would be investing in those things. Clinician experience might be the top of the list. Patient experience only with regard to its ability to either drive new revenues, additional revenues, capture revenues that we're losing in some way. Now is not the time with limited funds to go hog wild on the patient experience. We could talk about it all we want, and we could say, we have a portal and we're doing scheduling, and all that is good, and we should be doing all those things. That's what you should be doing when you had a bunch of money, and we'll come back again to that case where we're going to be doing that. And in fact, I would say patient and clinician experience are tightly linked. Like if you create a good patient experience, it should be linked to a good clinician experience. It should facilitate communication. It should facilitate care. It should facilitate the transactions that need to happen between the two and the communication, as I said earlier. So the two are tightly linked. But again, I'd be looking at the financial health. Quality and safety is always a priority. So, but innovating in that area only if there's something that's really going to dramatically improve life expectancy, outcomes, quality, something. I mean, if there's something that we're looking at that's really going to move the needle, you have to consider it. And then the cost of care. The cost of the care is one that I'm not sure technology will impact just yet. And the reason is because we're predominantly fee for service. Unless you are in a value-based care model, the implementation of technology seems to do you more harm than good. So it's the only reason I would stay away from that, unless I was in a very forward-thinking health system that had a lot of covered lives and value-based care contracts, in which case then I might invest in, again, that patient experience, because it will drive up our overall profitability and health. I hate to be that crass, but there are times where you have to focus and you have to say, what is the most important thing? And if you get back to financial health, then you can start doing everything else. But if you're teetering on challenges with financial health and you're always looking at cuts and those kind of things, you have to establish a foundation of stability. All right, finally, I was reading this article, and this is the kind of stuff that just cracks me up and has absolutely nothing to do with healthcare. So if you want to tune out right now, you can, but it's this whole Microsoft Activision deal. So if you don't know this, Microsoft is trying to buy the gaming company Activision. Okay. And you would think that this is going to form the largest monopoly ever. This is going to be, we're going back to Standard Oil, or we're going back to, Bell Telephone. And I mean, this is just going to be the end of the world in commerce as we know it, because this thing has been fought in the EU. It's been fought in California. And now both the EU and California have backed down and said, yeah, you can move forward with it. And the FTC is now stepping in to appeal the ruling. And when I read this kind of stuff, I realize there is so much hypocrisy in the federal government that we would step in to make sure that there isn't a gaming conglomerate that all of a sudden has control of too many assets in gaming. But we allow this to happen in just about every other industry, including healthcare. And so I'm reading this, and when I say silliness, I read this and I think someone at Activision or someone at Microsoft has really ticked somebody off. And this is payback, because it makes absolutely no sense. And I think it's a waste of your taxpayer dollars. And I think somebody's just grinding an axe, a little vendetta against one or both of these companies, not sure which. But at the end of the day, this should go through. And there's absolutely no reason not to. And the barriers of entry to get into this space are not that great. Other companies can come in and compete. Plus, this environment, the gaming environment, is changing so rapidly. You're going to see VR and AR continue to morph that side of it. So I'm not sure I understand why the FTC is all up in arms on this, or anyone else for that matter. Free Activision, free Microsoft, let them merge. Anyway, that's all for today. It's a Friday, just some musings. If you know of someone that might benefit from our channel, forward them a note. This really does help us. And let them know that you're listening to the podcast. They can subscribe anywhere: Apple, Google, Overcast, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere that you can subscribe to podcasts. We want to thank our channel sponsors who are investing in our mission to develop the next generation of health leaders: SureTest, Artisight, Parlance, and ServiceNow. 4 great companies. Check them out. thisweekhealth.com/today. Thanks for listening. That's all for now.